So if you've been struggling to get over your ex, but the breakup happened a long time ago, and I'm talking months, maybe even years, then this video is for you. I'm going to share with you the reason why you're still not able to move on. And I'm going to share some personal stuff about my own journey that'll hopefully help you see how you can finally put your ex behind you and become happy again. Roll VT. Hello, welcome, all that jazz. My name's Andy O'Neill. Welcome to my YouTube channel where I release videos every week all about breakups, breakup recovery, self-esteem. So if you haven't yet subscribed, then make sure you hit that button because it helps me know that the videos I'm putting out is actually helping. So I'm a life coach, yeah? I specialise in self-esteem, breakups, and in particular, breakup recovery. Now, if you've watched any of my other videos, you will know that I do what I do because of my own experience with breakups. I was repeating the same actions after every breakup. That feeling of panic, of hope, of anxiety, all consuming emotions. Now, everyone can feel like that after a breakup, but I would get stuck for months, sometimes years, not really living my life. And it wasn't until I realised what it was that was truly keeping me stuck that I was able to start transforming myself and my life. And that's when I went on to study life coaching. And the rest, as they say, is history. So I'm going to share with you today some of the realisations I had that finally made me break free of all that breakup pain and finally become someone who may still feel hurt after a breakup, but will never feel broken again. So let's cut to me with a whiteboard looking all professional. Right, so before I get into this, just a couple of things. Firstly, I appreciate this is not the greatest setup in the world, yeah? The lighting's not great, the sound's probably not great, it doesn't look great. I'm in my conservatory, it's late of a night, and I've not got the greatest setup. I'm pretty new to YouTube. Hopefully over time I get a better setup and it looks better and sounds better, but for now, this is what I'm working with. The important thing is, hopefully you can see the whiteboard, you'll see what I'm about to write, and you can hear me. And with a bit of luck, you take something away from this. Secondly, I'm not going to over edit this, yeah? I've not got a script that I'm reading from. I have got some notes to the left, so if you see me looking over there, then that's why. But I'm not going to heavily edit it, so if I make mistakes, I'm just going to keep them in, yeah? This is really deep stuff. It's stuff that I went through, and my only goal with this is that I share with you what I went through in the hope that you can do the same, yeah? I'm going to be open, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be sharing some really personal things about how I was feeling in the hope that it inspires you to do the same thing. Now, what I said earlier in the video still counts. If you've recently gone through a breakup, like the last few days or the last few weeks, then this probably isn't for you. You don't have to go deep into this like I'm about to do. I'm doing this for those people who are stuck 6, 12, 18 months after a breakup, yeah? Because what that's telling you is to be stuck that long, there's a fundamental problem going on, yeah? That needs to be fixed. Whereas if you've only just split up with someone, we all feel like that after a breakup. That's part of being a human, yeah? Despite what some of the really hard geezers say in my comments sometimes about, oh, you just forget about them and move on. Yeah, whatever. We can all suffer at the hands of heartbreak. We all feel that pain. So if it's quite recent for you, I would say, give yourself some time. There's every chance in another couple of weeks, you're feeling great again. You'll pick yourself back up, you'll carry on with your life. You don't need to go through all of this in order to feel better. You'll probably feel better naturally, yeah? But if you're stuck, if it has been 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, even a few years, then this is definitely for you. I was stuck every time I had a breakup. I would be stuck for months, if not years after. And to be honest, the only time the pain went away, the only time I felt better is when I met somebody new. And you'll see why that was as well when I go through this. But what I needed to do is fix that problem. And I'm hoping you can do the same. So, my starting point, all this is about asking yourself some really deep and honest questions and being honest with yourself, yeah? So the first question I had to ask myself is, why can't I be alone? What is it about being alone that makes me feel so bad? Why did I need to get my ex back desperately to make myself feel better? Or why was it when somebody new come along, then I'd feel better? Why couldn't I be alone? I had to find out the answer to that question because that's what was causing me the problem. So in order to do that, I started with looking at, well, okay, when I am with someone, how does that make me feel? How does it make me feel when I was with my ex, or I'm with a new partner? What positive emotions does that give me? So I started doing a list. So I felt good about myself. Yeah. I felt confident. I felt a belief. I had a lot of belief in myself. I felt desirable. And I felt like I was enough. I felt like I was enough. Okay, that was my starting point. Now I know that when I'm with somebody, if I was to get my ex back, this is how I would feel. I'd feel good about myself. I'd feel confident. I'd feel belief in myself. I'd feel desirable. And I'd feel like I was enough. So why don't I feel like that when I'm not with them? Why don't I feel that way when I'm alone? That comes the next part. So I then had to reverse that question. So I had to ask myself, how do I feel about myself when I'm not with my ex? When I'm not with anybody? When I'm alone? What is it that I'm feeling? What are those emotions I feel about myself? First one I established was more or less the opposite, right? I'm not good enough. That was the first one. Okay, next one. No confidence. I had zero confidence when I was on my own. Next one, I felt undesirable. And the last one was I felt no belief in myself. Okay, so I established how I felt when I was with my ex, and then I established how do I feel when I'm not with them. And it was, like I say, more or less the direct opposite. So I didn't feel good enough. I had no confidence in myself. I felt undesirable, and I had no belief in myself. So is it any wonder then, if that's how I was feeling, that my brain was trying to get me ex back? Was it any wonder that I was obsessing over them 24 hours a day? Was it any wonder that I was searching YouTube and TikTok for all the different ways you can try and win your ex back? How do I become more desirable so that they'll want me? How do I change myself so that they'll want me? What love spells can I do? Can no contact work and help me get my ex back? All the stuff that you've probably done is what I was doing. I was obsessing over it. And it's no wonder. If this is how I was feeling when I wasn't with my ex, of course I wanted to stop feeling that way. But this still wasn't the answer. I've got what the problem is, but why? Why is this a problem? Why don't I feel good enough when I'm on my own? Why don't I have any confidence? Why do I feel undesirable? Why have I got no belief in myself? I had to go even deeper. And that took a bit of time. You are not going to get the answers straight away. It's going to take a bit of time. It's going to take a lot of thought. It's going to take a lot of honesty. So I dwelled on this for days, if not weeks. I wanted to find out why. Because that's the ultimate question here. Why? Why am I feeling this way when I'm alone? What is it about me that's making me feel this way? Slowly but surely, the answers started to present themselves. And this is me being honest. These are actually the ones that I come up with. Yours might be different. Yeah, this is not me saying this is why you're struggling after your breakup. No, I'm saying you need to go through this process and find your own answers. These were my answers. Yeah, the process is the same, but the answers might be different. So the next step is why? Why do I feel all of those things without my ex? And that's where the real answers came about. So, why do I feel like I'm not good enough? What is it about me? Why am I not good enough? Why don't I think I'm good enough? And then the answer come. It's because I felt like I'm not very clever. That was the first one. Bang. I've got it. I don't feel clever. I feel stupid when I'm around people. Yeah? Got my answer. Next one. No confidence. Why have I got no confidence? What is it about me that stops me being confident? On the outside, it looked like I was confident. But I wasn't. I wasn't confident at all. Why? That I'm weak. I'm not only weak, I'm not manly. For whatever reason, which I later established, I felt like I was weak. I felt like I was not manly enough. I had no authority. So that was not giving me any confidence at all. Next one, undesirable. Why do I feel undesirable when I'm on my own, but when I'm in a relationship, I feel all right? That one come about pretty quickly, to be honest. That's because I felt that I was ugly. I felt that I was ugly. Now, you may be watching this now thinking, well, you are fucking ugly. Or you may be saying, actually, no, you're good looking. But the point was, it's irrelevant what you thought. It's irrelevant what anybody thought, including what my ex thought. It's about what I thought. And my personal view about me was that I was ugly. No belief in myself. All of the above. So the reason I had no belief was because of those. So I'd finally got to the bottom of how I truly felt about me. That I wasn't clever, so I didn't feel good enough. That I was weak and not manly, so I had no confidence. That I felt ugly, so I felt undesirable. And I had no belief in myself because of all of the above. But here's the thing, right? When I was with my ex, when I was in a relationship, I didn't feel any of them. Being with someone took it all away. Because it was almost like my brain was going, well, if this person, because every ex I've had, every girl I've been in a relationship with, I've loved, yeah? I've looked up to, I thought they were great. So if this person that I felt so highly about wanted me, then I must be clever, yeah? I can't be weak. I must be manly because they want me. I can't be ugly because they fancied me, yeah? I did have belief in myself. I felt like I could achieve anything because they were next to me. And now I knew why. It's because deep down, this is how I truly felt about me. Those were my limiting self-beliefs. So again, is it any wonder my brain was searching for my ex? Because my brain wanted to take all of this pain away, because this did cause nothing but pain. It caused depression, caused loneliness, it caused panic and desperation. Because I didn't want to feel this way. So I've got to stop, I've got to find somebody that'll make me feel better. Your ex is the latest one, so of course you're going to latch on to them. And maybe you'll get them back. And all of this will go away. But what happens if they leave again? What happens if you find somebody new and all this goes away? And then they leave again. And that's what was happening with me. Over and over, I'd be in a relationship and everything would be great and I'd feel on top of the world. And then we'd break up and all these would raise their ugly heads. And that's why I felt so bad. And that's why I was so stuck 6, 12, 18 months later, because none of this had gone away and my ex hadn't come back. So once I'd realised this, the answer was simple. Even though the solution was hard, the answer was simple. I needed to sort them out. I needed to stop believing this and believe something different. I needed to have those beliefs I had when I was with my ex, when I was in a relationship. I needed those beliefs when I was not in a relationship, when I was on my own. I needed to develop those beliefs, and there's a way of doing it. But you need to find out what the problem is first. And these are genuine. These were actually my limiting self-beliefs. This is actually the process I went through to find out finally what is the root cause of all this heartache for me. And that's what it was, those beliefs. And those were developed over time, which I'll go into another time. So, to summarise the process, you need to ask yourself the same questions. Why can't you be alone? So step one is establishing how does it make you feel when you're with somebody. So choose a different colour just to mix things up a bit. So it could be that when you're with someone, you have belief in yourself. It could be that you've got confidence. It could be that you feel secure and safe. And it could feel like you can achieve anything. Okay? So you've established that. This is just an example. Okay, so you now know how you feel when you're with somebody. So why don't you feel this when you're not? So it could be that, let's take confidence. Why don't I feel confident when I'm on my own? Well, it could be that you think other people are more talented. For whatever reason, yeah? Why do I feel I can't achieve anything when I'm on my own? Because I can never learn new things. I don't know if the mic's picking up the fireworks going off. It's not because I'm doing so well on this video. Right, so again, this is the process. So you establish, how do I feel when I'm with my ex? How do I feel when I'm not with my ex? And if that's the case, why aren't I feeling this? What are the beliefs I hold about myself that's stopping me from feeling the way I feel when I'm with my ex, but when I'm alone? Why can't I feel that way? What is it about me? What is my ex giving me? Well, my ex is giving me belief and confidence and security, and I feel like I can achieve stuff. Well, why can't you feel like that when you're on your own? Well, because I feel like other people are more talented, or, well, I can never learn new things. Suddenly, you're starting to get your own limiting self-beliefs. The very reason why you're stuck after your breakup, just like me. And once you've got them, you know where your problem lies. So the next part is overcoming. Overcoming what those limiting self-beliefs are. Because once you do, once you overcome them, will you feel breakup pain again? Yeah. Of course you will. You're human. It's like I said at the start, everyone feels shit after a breakup. If I go through another breakup, and I'm a breakup coach, will I feel breakup pain? Yeah. You're human. But you'll feel breakup pain, but you'll never be broken. Because that's what I was. I was broken. And this is what was broken about me. It was nothing to do with my ex. Just like it's nothing to do with your ex. You think it is, because your ex takes all this away. So of course you think that's the solution, but it's not. The solution is to fix whatever these are. Whatever these answers you come up with, whatever those limiting beliefs you establish by doing this process, is what the real problem is, not your ex. So the next step is overcoming those limiting self-beliefs. And that is what I'm going to show you in the next video. Because this is a process, right? Because let's be honest, it's not going to happen overnight. It's a process, and you need to follow the process. So in the next video, we're going to talk about how to overcome limiting self-beliefs. But what you need to do is establish what they are first. So I would suggest, first of all, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe. Because next week, I'm going to do a full video on how I then overcome those limiting self-beliefs that I've shown you earlier on. So, over the next week, if you do this same process, try and establish what are your limiting self-beliefs about yourself. And then next Sunday, we'll go through it together on how you can overcome them. And like I say, once you do, you will never feel broken after a breakup. You'll feel pain, you'll feel heartbreak, but you ain't going to be broken 6, 12, 18 months later. You just won't. But you must go through this process. So hopefully, despite the surroundings, despite the fireworks going off in the background and the lighting, hopefully you've got something from this. This is full transparency from me. This is exactly the process I went through. It's similar processes that I go through with a lot of my clients. There's nuances and there's differences, but ultimately, this is what I went through to future-proof myself, to make sure never again will I be broken after a breakup. And you can do the same. I'm nothing special. Just because I've done it doesn't mean nobody else can. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. And you should. Because you don't want to be in this position again. But you've got to want to do this. You've got to want to do it. You've got to be honest with yourself. If you do this process this week, you have to be honest. No one else is going to see it. So be honest with yourself. Own up to those limiting beliefs you've got about yourself. I thought I was ugly. I thought I wasn't clever. I don't think any of those things now. So, do the process, find out what your limiting self-beliefs are, and then join me here next Sunday when I'll show you exactly how you can overcome them and turn them into positives and get rid of this breakup pain once and for all. Nice one for listening. If you like the video, please give it a like. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Other than that, nice one for listening, and I shall see you here next Sunday in the next video. Laters.